Hey guys, welcome back to my budgeting videos. So you may or may not have noticed that there was not a budgeting video for, well, now it would be 2 paychecks ago. And that is because I am just dropping the ball. Not even just dropping it, it's like I dropped it and then I kicked it and it went over the edge of a mountain and it's now bobbing in the sea, floating to the other side of the planet. Like it's gone, just gone. My budget and I were just, I don't know, man. So I actually did do my budget from the last paycheck an entire week late, but at least I did it. And I did actually film it as well. But then I realized that I was so negative the whole way through. And I was like, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody has time for that. We all have our own drama going on. You don't want to listen to mine. So I scrapped it, but then I didn't redo it. I meant to. I was going to just like take pictures of it and kind of walk you through what I had done without actually doing the calculations in real time. And then it didn't happen because I'm just like mad at the budget, but in reality, I'm mad at me, but I'm taking it out on the budget. It's a whole thing. So we got paid here. Well, where I got paid here on June 30th instead of July 1st for the last paycheck, because July 1st, I'm in Canada. It was Canada Day. Nothing's open. So we got paid a day early, which like in my brain associated with like, ooh, I'm going to be like so good. I was not good. Not at all. So, I did, however, on July the 1st, just take my money for my rent like completely out of my checking account because I hadn't really touched my paycheck yet at all. So you know how normally I like take half of it, put it aside, and then like pull it back and like pay my rent at the beginning of the month. I just took it, like I said, out of the bank account in general because I had to pay it and I was out at a barbecue and I was like blanking on like where to transfer the money back from and you know like do all the steps. I'm like I'm just gonna cheat code it. So yeah, heads up, it's all weird. So my account balance, I feel like I say this every time, my account balance is kind of a lie, I guess. So it was lower, but then I took the money that should have gone towards rent that was sitting in the savings account and I transferred it back into the account to make up, because out of my paycheck only half of the rent should have come, not all of it. So I kind of like refunded it back. But then because it's me, I did a couple purchases and so it affects my starting balance. So that's the starting balance with the half of the rent put back in. And as you can see, it's even smaller than my paycheck. So we're really off to a great, great start. It's just going to be a lot of sarcasm today, guys. Sorry. So I know it's kind of weird that I put the money in just to immediately take it back out again, but I'm a very visual person and it helps me make sense of what I'm doing. And if I come back to look at this, really it won't take long, in like a week, then I'll remember all the steps. Whereas if I just kind of skipped over it and never moved it around or made any notation of it, I'd wonder what the hell I did. So I have $792.44 to start with, which is super great. So I'm pulling out $159.90. That's the vacation percentage that I got on my paycheck. And that is going into my England fund, which is leaving me with $632.54. And then I'm pulling out $91.94, which is the stat percentage. Which is leaving me with $540.60. So the next thing I want to keep track of, I don't know, is the car payment, which will be coming out, which I'm still not used to that. So SUV payment. Just leaving me with $273.88. I am working from home 3 days a week now instead of 2 for the next couple months because my office, I haven't actually worked through this yet, but apparently it becomes unbearably hot to a level that's like an unsafe work environment, which works out well for me because it means I get to stay home for an extra day every week and save on parking. So now I need to pull out $32 for work parking. And I opened a credit card because of course I did. I was at a Dragon Boat Festival the other weekend, not the one we just had, the Canada Day weekend, but the weekend prior. I was competing, and there was this stand that had this thing called Neo, and I was curious. I shouldn't be allowed to be curious. So it's a credit card, it's a MasterCard. It has all these like cashback features, and say you use it at like certain locations, and there's like a ton of locations, you get even more cash back because it has like deals with certain vendors. It's too much for me to explain. If you're curious, go and look at Neo. It's Neo, like from the Matrix, which I just realized, and it's kind of lame. I really hope that stands for something. But anyways, it has a higher cash back. Well, I don't even get a cash back on my credit card. So it just seemed like, maybe I'll apply, what's the big deal? And you got like a $25 cash back bonus for using it. So I've used it a whopping one time because I'm kind of terrified of using it and not forgetting about it, but you know, like not seeing it on my regular Scotiabank, that's who I bank with, like my Scotiabank banking page, and kind of forgetting and all of a sudden having like a debt outside of it all. So we went as a team out for dinner and I used it for the first time there. And I put the $25 cash reward, I guess you could say, that I got for signing up towards that. So the total for my meal is $22.26, and I just want to like pay it and not start off with like another debt on another card. I am contemplating moving like my monthly charges to like my Apple, and what else do I get charged monthly? Oh, a donation. I got convinced to sign up to make a monthly donation to the food bank. It's only $5 a month, and I'll get a tax receipt at the end of the year. But like, how did that even happen? I mean, it did, clearly. It's because I answered the phone. Never answer the phone. But like little like monthly charges like that, I'm thinking about putting on there just because it will get me more cash back. Well, it'll get me cash back in general because like I said, I don't get that already. And I'm thinking it might help me track a little bit better what are my monthly expenses or like bills that go to that card, because I'll think like, oh, I haven't spent anything or I haven't bought anything, and then there's like a monthly fee, and then I don't really keep track of them very well. So I'm thinking if I have to move them all over, it'll make me more conscious of what they all are, and then I can clearly see, okay, every month I'm actually spending X number of dollars on these monthly bills, and figure out if I need to get rid of some of them or just how much I need to budget for that. I don't know, I'm rambling, which is nothing new really. Okay, so I am adding back a quarter of my rent, which sounds ridiculous, but see how I pulled out the $392.50, and I'm sitting down here with a balance. Oh, I have missed something. Oh, I missed, yeah, okay. $67 is my SUV sinking fund. And in my head, although you wouldn't know it by the paper, by the order I have written things, that is just as important as the SUV payment, because I need to make sure that in a year's time I have my insurance money. So $152.62. So this is where I got to and had a little bit of a panic attack. So I'm taking the half of the rent that I pulled out and I'm returning back half of that half, which is a quarter, and I'm only doing it because it was a 3 paycheck month. And usually when there's 3 paychecks, each paycheck I pull out a third versus a half, because you know there's 3 paychecks. But I didn't do that this time. I was pulling out a half each time, so I have like a bigger buffer than normal. Like I already have my half month's rent in that savings account set aside, so this is just sort of putting me like ahead a little bit. So I would have been ahead by like a whole half of a paycheck, but instead I'll be ahead by a whole quarter of a paycheck, which isn't as great, but you know, I need the money. So 196.25 is add back quarter of rent. $348.87. My line of credit, the minimum payment is $251.73. Now it's not due until towards the end of July. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but I want to make the full payment in advance, like as soon as I can, meaning with this paycheck, and then hopefully be able to make another payment of that size on my next paycheck. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to, but at least like the minimum payment's done, and anything that I'm able to pay towards it next time is just like bonus. So that is leaving me with $97.14 in my account, which is terrifying. So I have not put any money into my sinking funds. I haven't put any, well, except for the car one, I haven't put any money into my investing, into my savings challenge, all kinds of things I haven't put money into because there isn't any to put, which is why I am mad at the budget, but actually myself, because what the hell did I do? I mean, I kind of know what I did. I got gas for the first time with the new vehicle, so looks like about roughly once a month, it was a little bit over a month technically, I will be filling up the gas tank of my hybrid, which is great, once versus like every 4 days, but gas is still astronomically priced. So I filled it up to like full, and that cost me just like a smidge under $100, and I paid for it with cash versus putting it onto a credit card. So that's part of why my balance took like such a hit. And I feel like I had something else. I think it was like just like bits and bobs here and there. Do you know what I mean? Like I got a car wash, and groceries, and I spent over my budget on groceries because I was buying some stuff from Costco. So, you know, like stupid moves, things I shouldn't have done, but I did, and the damage is done. The bonus is that next paycheck, I'll probably have to buy eggs and milk and maybe bread, but I will not be buying anything else because I'm just going to live off of what I have in the cupboards, in the freezer, and you know, it'll teach me a lesson, and it'll clear out my freezer, most likely. God, I'm gonna have to cook. Yeah. Okay, so this one hasn't been super cheerful either, but it's just the reality of like where I'm at with my money right now. I desperately need a second job. I have not been able to find one. I was gonna sign up to be an Uber driver, but there's like a ton of studying because you actually had to get a whole different license classification, which I did not realize. And it's not that I'm against studying or paying to take the test. I don't have the money to take the test, but you know, it's one of those, I would find it if I thought I was gonna pass the test, but I don't have time to study, so I haven't done it yet. I'm still trying to get a part-time job at my current job so I can pick up extra shifts. It's like a whole thing, they move slowly, and yeah, this is where we are at. My buffer is $97.14. I'm really hoping my parents' housekeeper doesn't come before my next paycheck, because if she does, there goes 60 of that. And I'm supposed to be buying ingredients for this coming week because I promised a friend I would make them dinner. Yes, I know. I'll figure it out. I don't know how, but I will figure it out. On the plus side, because let's have a plus side, monthly donation to charity, yay, always a good thing. And the savings going towards my England trip is right on track. And yeah, that's my good things for the week. I do not have my July thing set up yet. I mean, I don't think you're surprised at that. I have nothing done. I will work on it. I will show it to you next time. I am sorry that this is rambly and kind of negative and a tad more sarcastic than I make it, but this is just kind of like where I'm at right now. So I'm just gonna go and watch some Netflix and pretend I have not made a disaster of my budget after so recently getting out of consumer debt. Okay guys, I'm gonna go. Have a great one. Enjoy the weather. I hope you have not done to your budget what I have done to mine, and I guess, you know, stick around so you can see me dig myself out of the hole I just dug? No, climb my way out of the hole I just dug. Yeah, that makes more sense. Watch me climb, guys. I'm gonna do it. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you later. Bye.